It's Tuesday, June 8th, 2021, and this is The Inbox with Greg Nibbler. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining wherever you are. I do appreciate it. Hit subscribe to 2Box Media at TWO Box Media on whatever platform you are watching on. I am Greg Nibbler. I probably need a haircut, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are going to talk about the Apple event that just happened, the Apple Worldwide Developer Conference, and there are so many announcements that were made during that thing. It felt like it lasted 4 days. The entire conference will last that, but the keynote speech was a video presentation showing so many things. But today, I just want to highlight 5 of the things that I think are the most important, plus something that's a bonus that you can take advantage of today. First off, here are some of the updates coming for iOS 15, and in particular, FaceTime. FaceTime getting a major renovation this fall, which is when it's predicted that iOS 15 will roll out. And it's the fact that FaceTime is going to become more Zoom-like, which is a term I think that's relatable to all of us. We all kind of get that. Here are the key features coming out with FaceTime when this update rolls out. One, you're going to be able to schedule FaceTime calls. That is a big update in its own right. On top of that, guess what? People who aren't Apple users are going to be able to join a FaceTime call. So if you're an Android user, if you're a Windows PC user, or you know somebody, I know Apple people tend to get pretty frustrated with people who can't join a FaceTime call. I probably just revealed myself right there as an Android user. I do like Apple devices and I do have an iPhone, but it's just frustrating because there's no cross functionality for that. And now there will be, because anybody who initiates a FaceTime call on an Apple device will be able to send out a link through which an Android user or a Windows PC user will be able to join. So that's a huge advantage right there. On top of that, they're improving the audio. So more spatial audio, more fine-tuning of that to get rid of some of the background noise. They had a little video demonstrating somebody with a leaf blower in the background to where you can maybe cut that out. That's huge. Another part of this update will be SharePlay, to where you're going to be able to watch movies and listen to music and share things with somebody else via that FaceTime call, and they can join in. The video will be overlaid. The person will be overlaid over the video or the music that you're listening to. They've already got partners like HBO Max, Hulu, Disney Plus, TikTok, a number of other ones that are going to be joining that. So you're going to be seeing that rolling out as well. So that's kind of that more inclusive thing. Probably something that would have been nicer at the beginning of the pandemic, but nonetheless, it's Apple reacting to how people are interacting with their devices and getting used to this whole idea that that's how we share things more often now. So pretty cool with that update. Let's go on to update number 2. And it has to do with your Apple AirPods Pro and Max. So those are the ones that are going to get this update at first. And there's a couple of things. They're now going to be part of the Find network. So joining things like the Apple AirTags, to where you can locate them in multiple places. You can hone in on them. You can kind of figure out exactly where it's at. It'll give you an indicator if you're close or not. That's what's happening with these Apple AirPods Pro. So if you're somebody who has dropped yours or lost them, or I don't know, can't find them in a couch, left them at the park, then you understand what it is that I'm talking about, because I am one of those people as well. And now you're going to be able to do all that stuff that you do with the Apple AirTags. It taps into that network using Bluetooth, so it can tap into other iPhones to be part of that network to help you refine that search. And you're also going to be able to make a noise, so it can actually make a noise when you're getting near to it, allow beeping noise. So that will certainly help for those of you who are losing them. Another update will be with conversational audio, and that's something that's going to be helping people, again, with that spatial audio aspect, helping to fine tune and zoom in on somebody that you're talking to. They have this video, kind of showcases it. It does kind of look like, maybe a Marvel series that didn't end up making it, but nonetheless, the idea is pretty cool, showcasing someone who maybe would have a hard time hearing what was going on otherwise. To have that specifically honed in on through the software, I think that's pretty cool. So that's another advantage that we're going to be seeing from that. All right, moving on to item number 3. That has to do with health technology and some of the improvements that Apple's doing. Apple's always been, honestly, at the forefront of this. They make it a big mission to actually improve their various versions of health software or hardware and integration between all of those. And here's some of the updates that we're getting when it comes to health apps in particular, and more ways that you can track what you're doing. Certainly right now, you can keep track of a lot of different health aspects in your own personal device. Now you're going to be able to share that with other people. So whether that's somebody like a doctor or a friend that you think should know, or a caregiver, and I think that's a big aspect right there, a caregiver getting access to your health. This is something that you're going to be able to do. Privacy and security always being something that's huge with Apple, and they emphasize that this information is going to be stored with you. You are the one who gives access to somebody else. It's on your device, etc. So a lot of information on that. But talking about the health side of things, it's going to be able to track a lot of information. We already know about the heart monitoring aspects that you can use with an Apple Watch. Now it can also track your gait, how you walk. They emphasize that there's a lot of information out there about how falls are a big cause of health concerns across the world. That's something that happens to people. And now they're going to be able to track that a little bit more by monitoring your gait. They had a little demo there where you throw your iPhone into your back pocket. It can keep track of where it is that you're stepping, how often you're stepping, and over time get a more accurate reading of how it is that you are walking and whether or not you may be vulnerable for a fall. Just one thing they showcased with that. A lot of different ways they're going to integrate all those devices. And I think anything that's actually going to improve people's lives through something like that, I think that's a great addition. So health technology from Apple, always getting better. Hopefully this brings other companies along too. This isn't something that I want to see just from one company. I want to see it from everybody. But Apple, I mean, kudos to them for making that something that's just a little bit more integrated into people's lives and more useful, particularly with sharing it with doctors. So health app technology getting better. Number 4. Here is a way that we may change how we travel, and it has to do with the Apple Wallet. Another thing that they've been increasingly using for a lot of different ways, for maybe purchasing things, for sharing credit cards, all of that. But now with your ID, you may be able to use that to travel. So they showed how you can eventually, and hopefully soon, at least according to them, be able to scan your ID, whether that's a driver's license, I don't know about a passport, maybe something along those lines as well. Scan that into your Apple Wallet and then use that at the airport with, say, the TSA or other organizations. So working to integrate that kind of technology into there. So that's just going to be one more thing that will be stored in your device. And again, they emphasize that it's stored locally on your device only. So it's something that someone would have to have access to your iPhone in order to get it. It's not going to be anywhere else. How they're going to be using that technology with the TSA or whoever else it would be that they're working with, they haven't quite said, but they're expecting that to be happening maybe even later this year, to where your Apple Wallet could be your ID. I don't know how that'll work with, like, say, local police departments. I would imagine we're ways off from that. Another thing with the Apple Wallet, though, will be keys, to where they think they're going to be able to use this with hotels. That's what they're working with right now. So say you're going to check into a hotel, and maybe you don't have to go to the front desk anymore. You check in virtually. You already have your room key right there, and you can open up your room with your iPhone. That's pretty cool. Again, I want to make sure that that stuff's secure. So far, with what Apple's done, I think I would trust that right now. That's a little bit more, I think, scary. I mean, in my honest opinion, about whether or not people will be able to access other rooms without having that key being issued by the hotel. But I suppose the technology is not that much different. So it'd be the hotel specifically selecting you and giving you access to a room. They're also going to be using this for home keys and work keys, and they're partnering with car companies. So expect your key to eventually be going through your Apple device too, if you so choose. And finally, the thing that I thought was probably the most impressive, if this actually works, has to do with the new Mac OS that's coming out called Monterey. We got the name of the new Mac OS. But one thing that it's going to be able to do is this. It's called Universal Control. And the idea is that you would be able to drag files across different devices. So the demonstration that they have, this is what was most impressive. This isn't the first time we've seen, different devices being able to collaborate. There's a lot of that in the PC world, but none of it quite looks like what Apple showed. So they've got an iPad, they've got a laptop, they've got a Mac, and they're dragging things across all of it. They showed him just seamlessly bringing a file across those 3 devices, all linked up, and dropping it into Final Cut right there to make it all seem like they're just working together. So if that does actually come to fruition, it's surely going to come to fruition. They said that you do have to have the devices all lined up. They've got to be connected via Bluetooth, signed in with the same Apple ID, et cetera, et cetera. Not surprising. But to be that seamless and smooth is pretty cool. You will have to have it initiated by the Mac. You can't initiate it with the iPad, they said. I'm sure there's more specifications coming, but nonetheless, one of the most impressive demos that I saw. Again, until we all get our hands on it, we're seeing probably the best of the best of the best, because this is a video from Apple, obviously, but still pretty cool. All right, so definitely some cool things coming out from this Apple WWDC event. Maybe some more announcements in the next couple of days as it continues on, but a lot of that's mainly targeted towards the developers themselves and how they can integrate into these different systems. There were some Siri updates. There were a few other things, so definitely check out all the coverage for that. One other thing, though, for all of you Apple users that you can use right now is the rollout for Apple Music of Dolby Atmos sound. So this was teased earlier. They said it was going to be coming in June, and they do have it out right now, something that you can use. You can use it on iOS, iPadOS, or macOS as the updates happen, and it has both the lossless quality streaming and spatial audio features that Apple Music teased, and that ability to use Dolby Atmos if you have the device specifically for it. You do have to go into your Apple Music account and opt in for it, so make sure that you see that. Some specific songs will also have a notification on them that you can use it for it, but I would definitely try that out because it comes free. Free with Apple Music if you're already using it. That is definitely a shot at Spotify and everybody else out there in the streaming music game to make that free or not. I don't think it's going to be free for everybody, but Apple Music making it part of that. Why not take advantage if you have the device that can use it? All right, so there you go. Some quick updates on Apple, some things that are coming in the future, something that you can use right now. And I know we're very specific on that today, but we've got a lot more coming up this week. And I want to remind you that I, Greg Nibbler, also have another show that has launched as well, and I do that with Winnie Sun. It's called The Loop with Winnie and Greg. It airs live Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. You can tune into that, subscribe to the same channels you are right now at 2Box Media or at Greg Nibbler on whatever platform you're on, and that way you'll get a notification when it pops up. But you can check out old episodes as well. We've done 2 so far, so getting that off the ground. A lot more coming up for the inbox, a lot more videos coming from 2Box Media, all kinds of things. And I just want to say how much I appreciate you tuning in to this. Any suggestions, any advice, anything you want to know about, please get a hold of me, Greg at 2boxmedia.com, or leave something in the comments. I will read all of them. I will respond to them. Any tips, tricks, anything else that you have for that, anybody you think that I should interview for this show or any other platform that I'm on, let me know on that too. And thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll be back soon with another episode of The Inbox with Greg Nibbler.